Hello and welcome to Access Asia. Coming up, South Korea has a pension problem. Many elderly have no retirement funds, and there are more senior citizens in today's workforce than 20-somethings. Japan's Kutu movement is a pointed rebuke to company dress codes. Thousands of women have signed a petition against being required to wear high heels to work. And Singapore is dumping tons of garbage into an artificial lake. It may sound like rubbish, but authorities say it's an environmental solution that's turned into a tourist attraction. And we begin in South Korea, where the national pension system was only introduced in 1988, meaning many seniors today do not have access to retirement funds. For those who did not put money aside and have no access to help from family or the government, going back to work is the only option to survive. Yena Lee has more.
These men are all past the legal retirement age of 60, yet they're back at work. Former businessman Park Jae-yeol sorts and distributes parcels 3 hours a day, 6 days a week for 500 euros a month. At 72 years old, he is now a part-time delivery man.
Our generation suffered from poverty. It was hard to raise children, and we were incapable of preparing for our retirement.
Park didn't stop working when he turned 60. His pension of 130 euros a month and 160 euros in benefits wasn't enough to make ends meet in Seoul. It's why he delivers around 100 parcels a day.
If I work regularly and I organize my life around it, I can stay healthy, make money, and meet people.
Millions of Koreans are working well into their golden years, waiting tables, doing odd jobs, and even manual labor. South Korea rolled out its national pension system between 1988 and 2003, meaning most seniors haven't paid enough into the common pot, and almost 1/2 live in poverty. It's a topic that comes up often in this barbershop. Here, employees are all in their 70s, and they're not quite ready to put down their scissors just yet.
There are plenty of seniors who are capable of working, but there's no work for them. People don't want them.
I know many elderly people who would like to find jobs.
Korean seniors are participating in the gig economy. In this cafe, a sign asks customers to be a little patient. Older staff are behind the counter.
It's good to see older people work. We can always learn new things, even as we age. Plus, they remind me of my mother.
Government statistics say there are more senior citizens who are active in the workforce than Koreans in their 20s. Though politicians have vowed to provide the elderly with more aid, the generation that helped build the world's 11th biggest economy often finds itself without resources.
While the Me Too movement did not catch on in Japan, a recent one has found stronger footing. Women are saying no to high heels. Earlier this month, the country's labor minister was criticized when he said at a parliamentary debate that wearing high heels to work is necessary and reasonable. Olivia Salazar-Winsper takes a look at the Kutu movement.
Whether your commute's brief or lengthy, your working day sedentary or on your feet, most women agree on one thing: it's all a lot harder when you're doing it in heels.
My feet start hurting, and it's painful to stay standing in heels. Sometimes my back even starts to hurt.
I feel so free and relaxed when I come home and take my heels off. They hurt my feet.
One online campaign's looking to free Japanese women from aching feet. The Kutu hashtag is a play on the words for feet and for pain. It was set up by Yumi Ishikawa after she was required to wear heels to her job at a funeral parlor. When she raised the issue online, she found she wasn't alone.
Many women told me that this campaign made them realize that other women were enduring the same pain, or that they had no choice but to wear heels because of tradition. Many also said they wanted to work in industries where they'd have to wear high heels, but gave up on the idea because they wouldn't be able to bear the pain.
More than 20,000 people have signed her petition seeking to do away with the convention. Labour, Health and Welfare Minister Takumi Nemoto has responded, saying that maintaining a certain dress code in the workplace is, quote, necessary and appropriate. For the founder of the petition, however, attitudes towards the issue represent a fundamental gender imbalance ingrained in society.
Japanese people are insensitive when it comes to issues of sexual discrimination. When you talk about it, people often react by not hearing you out. That's not going to resolve any issues of sexual discrimination, and there are so many in Japan. I hope our society becomes more aware of these problems.
Japan has strict social codes when it comes to professional appearance, yet in recent years, male employees have been allowed to adopt short sleeves and forego their ties in summer, as offices seek to lower their air conditioning bills. Here, many point to a double standard, referring to Japan's very low ranking for gender equality. The country comes in at 110 of 149 countries judged on the treatment of women.
In Singapore, an artificial lake has been created on an offshore island. There, huge amounts of the city's waste are being dumped. Though the water is dark, authorities claim the process is totally environmental, and the site has even become a tourist attraction. Thomas Waterhouse has more.
8 kilometres south of Singapore lies a lush green oasis. But this picture postcard pocket of water sits next to the city-state's first offshore dumping ground. Each year, almost 3 million tonnes of rubbish are left here. But there's no foul smell and no pollution. This is in fact a landfill that's full of life. Locals even come here as tourists to see where their trash ends up.
Water is quite clear. And the mangrove is thriving. These are all very young mangroves. They're doing very well.
The sprawling metropolis stands on the other side of the bay. Last year, its residents produced almost 8 million tonnes of waste. Local media claims that each inhabitant throws away 13 bags a day. Everything that can't be recycled arrives here, at one of the city's 4 rubbish incinerators.
The waste occupies space, especially in Singapore. So through burning, it can reduce the volume by 90%.
Once the rubbish has been burnt, the remains are dampened before being loaded into one of these giant barges, which transport the ashes to the landfill. Out at sea, a huge underwater wall has been built, linking 2 natural islands. It's the space created in the middle which is little by little being loaded with the ashes of Singapore's rubbish. Half of this space has already been filled. Officials admit that while the water is black, there's no risk to the environment because the ashes are tested for toxins and a 2-layer membrane encases the entire dumping ground, preventing the black water, seen here on the left, from spilling into the ocean. Some ecological groups nevertheless have concerns about the future.
The ashes there will stay there forever. So we are not sure what comes out of it and what will happen after it's being filled as well. There definitely could be stronger policies put in place to move not only businesses but also the public together in that direction towards reduction.
Authorities estimate that at the current speed, the lagoon will be filled by 2035. The government is already looking for alternatives, with some wanting this offshore site to be simply enlarged.
A new generation of filmmakers in Myanmar is hoping to revive the country's golden era of film. Over 60 years ago, the country used to be a cinema hub in the region, but since then, the film industry has suffered. The country has been slow to open up since the civilian government replaced the military in 2011.
Lost temples, buried jewels, and lots of action. The film The Mystery of Burma was a box office hit in Myanmar last year. Director Arkar is one of a handful of new generation filmmakers aiming to raise the standard of his country's movies. He learned the trade in Singapore before coming back home.
The visual and audio, it's very different from what we can see most of the time in Burma. The movie, it's totally different style, and the look, everything is really different. That's why the people really love the film.
Myanmar used to be a regional hub for cinema before the military junta isolated the nation in 1962. The country has now opened up, but critics say bad habits remain. Pre-production planning is rare, and heavily overacted comedies and zombie movies are churned out. Industry insiders want fresh ideas and more investment.
The condition of Myanmar's film industry is similar to that of our country. After 100 years, neither is in good condition.
But the movie scene's old guard is clinging on. At this year's Academy Awards, Myanmar's Oscars, none of the new generation filmmakers came away with prizes. Director Na Ji was among those who lost out, even though his adaptation of a novel set in the 1940s won over the horror film Crazy Nation.
There's a problem with the old generation and new generation, those kind of things. And another thing it's independent filmmaker and mainstream filmmakers. So it's kind of divided, So yeah, we need more people who can work together.
Myanmar is luring some foreign filmmakers. This Hong Kong movie was partly shot in Yangon this year. The next goal, to get the country's movies picked up overseas and prompt a return of the industry's golden years.
And finally, we take a look at a race that was founded 10 years ago in Japan, the Office Chair Grand Prix. The organizer says he was inspired by the endurance racing in Formula One. Teams of 3 battle over 2 hours to see who can complete the most laps of the 200-meter course. The races have become a nationwide success, some participants traveling from as far away as 600 kilometers with their own chairs, of course. And this year alone, 10 events are being held across the country. Well, that's it for this week. Please stay tuned to France 24.
Africa News, your eyes on Africa. Bringing you the latest from across the continent.
Eye on Africa, presented by Georgia Calvin-Smith on France 24 and France24.com.